Welcome to the Site Cabin Podcast, episode 20!
Yeah.
I need a bit more enthusiasm than that. I did actually say that. All earlier on today. It didn't actually go off properly. Let's just do another one. Sorry, Sol. Oh, these are like dodgy. Try one, Dan.
Did you get them from...
I got them from the shop on the estate. They're
me.
rubbish, aren't they? Oh, that's a good one.
That's good.
Oh, bad.
Episode 20.
Yeah.
Episode 20, Dan.
I know.
We're also live on TikTok.
We are.
But it's only me and Danny mic'd up tonight. So if you are listening to us live on TikTok, it's the recording of episode 20. You'll be able to watch it in about a week's time. Probably on, all of our platforms. YouTube, Spotify, Apple, blah, 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 blah. When was the last time we recorded?
6 weeks ago.
6 weeks.
6 weeks ago. Yeah.
Lots gone on in 6 weeks. Lots gone on. What have we all been up to? Danny, what have you been up to? 6 weeks?
Nothing. Been doing a bit of work.
Boring.
Doing a lot on the house. Got a building inspector coming round next week.
Next week?
Yeah.
What's he coming round for?
Checking the footings.
Nice.
So have you dug the
Not
footings?
dug them. He's pre-footings, then he'll come in after. So he's going to check what we're allowed to do.
The depth.
Yeah, he's sound. It's like good bloke. High Peak, innit? They don't give a fuck.
High Peak, yeah, they don't really care.
It's the only place in the only tip in the country that I know where you can take bags of asbestos.
And just what, Danny? It's obviously it's hazardous waste. That
Yeah, no, you've got to bag it up, but you can drop it off legally in the tip.
Yeah, they've got plasterboards.
Everyone else I know that you have to get like a pass, don't you? You have to go a pass to go to the tip.
actually, I remember.
Don't give a fuck when they
I remember when my ex-wife moved houses.
She did,
and even though she's my ex-wife, we have a good relationship. Yeah. And she had this big double fridge. I didn't know what to do with it, and you said.
No, me and Danny, we took it up to Buxton in the van.
It to Buxton.
in the works van.
We took it in a works van.
Yeah.
I genuinely believe you could get rid of a dead body up there.
Yeah.
Like just put it in some carpet.
In case anyone's,
Yeah, those lads are great up there at Buxton.
Yeah.
Mm,
Sound.
Okay. So in case anyone's thinking of that, so 6 weeks just working on the house.
Working on the house, been doing a bit of work as well. Earning a bit of money, but then just been working on the house, pottering around.
Not really much.
No, I can't think of anything that I've done.
Andy?
Did a bit on Mum's bathroom for her. She's got finished off a bathroom.
Yes, Mum. Shout out to Mum. She's just had a hip operation.
She has. Yeah, she's doing well. Recovering well. Yeah. Watched Squid Game for the first time.
I know, that's weird. How did that pass you
I
by?
don't know. I was off 1 week and was doing stuff.
He came up to me the other day. He was like, "That Squid Game's brilliant.
You've done a
It's
great.
Andy, it's been out 2 years.
It's great.
Or whatever.
Second series out in January, I think.
Yeah.
Or,
No, it's Christmas.
Boxing Day, I think, comes out.
Is it?
Yeah.
What was your favourite game within Squid Game?
It's the glass bridge, and they've got to jump onto panels, and one of them's going to be a dodgy one that goes through, and the other one's a toughened.
Yes.
And it's really good.
It's funny
Very
you
good.
mention this. The kids were playing Roblox last night.
Which, by the way, all kids play at the moment.
All play, yeah. I had
I'm
to
worried
stop
about
them.
pedos, though. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, it's a genuine concern. Because all the children seem to be playing this Roblox.
Oh, do you mean they all
moment.
have chat groups?
They all
and
play
that
Roblox.
stuff?
It's all,
Right.
The scary thing is on Roblox.
That's ruined my holiday.
Little one was playing it last night, and I kept hearing this red light, green light. And I was like, what's it? And then when I watched it, so it was the actual game from Squid Game, and their character was just getting shot by guns, and I was a bit like, she's 7. It's a bit too much for this.
I know what you mean.
So I stopped her from playing it.
And that's on Roblox?
Yeah.
Because there's different games on Roblox that they play, basically.
There's loads. It is great.
Do we sound dead old now?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Jack, what have you been up to the last 6 weeks?
Not too much. Working. I smashed my car up.
Smashed his
That's
car.
it, yeah. Really, actually, there's a famous traffic calming area, because I've driven down here, me and Danny have.
Yeah,
He's in Altrincham, and it's a
Famous.
nightmare.
I wouldn't call it traffic calming.
It's not. It's
on the way to
scary.
Altrincham Tip.
Yeah, it's on the way to
Yeah.
Altrincham Tip, and you turn the corner, and you're like,
You go over a
if you
bridge,
go-
and you have to turn left to go out the other side of the bollard.
Was you going
Just
too
for-
fast, Jack?
No, if anything, I was going too slow.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
More damage.
I wasn't aggressive enough.
Yeah, more damage to the car.
Yeah.
So Jack's fucked his car up. You've just been chilling. Andy's watched Squid Game.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
What have you been up to?
Yeah. Thank you. I was wondering. I was honestly
waiting.
going to wonder.
Who's going to ask
I
about
was
me?
genuinely wondering,
Yeah.
is anyone going to ask me what I've been up to?
So what's on the agenda tonight, Dave?
Yeah, bastards. I went to Greece. Went to I went to attend a wedding in Greece.
Yeah.
That was quite interesting. Really enjoyed it, actually. Not going to name names, obviously. Personal reasons.
Was it Pauline Calf?
Paul and Pauline Calf.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't actually, but I know where you're
Spiros.
going with that. Spiros, yeah.
Spiros.
Put a roof
that
on.
was so good.
Oh, we did?
The garden room / office / gaming station /
When you get kicked out of the house by your wife.
second bedroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because obviously there's going to be a bed settee put in there. But in case any Stockport building inspectors are watching, it's not a domicile. It's built under permitted developments. Yeah. Anybody know anything about permitted development?
No, a little bit. So up to 30 square foot, is it?
30 square metres.
30 square metres.
Yeah, maximum 30 square metres. Can't be more than 50% of your garden.
Yeah.
2.5 metres from your floor, ground
Highest
level
point.
to eaves, and 4.5 metres to top of ridge, if it's a ridge. So you can build a lot of stuff in your garden without actually having to get any permission whatsoever. And your neighbours
Can't say anything.
can't say fuck all. Can't do anything. Can't do anything about it, which is pretty cool. So I've done the garden room nearly. You helped me out on that. In fact, we spent a day on that, didn't
Yeah. And you put the rubber roof on, haven't you, or something?
we? Put a rubber roof on, yeah.
Is it any good?
EDPM.
Is it good?
It's good. I've never done it before, but I've watched a lot of YouTube videos on it, and I'm a construction person, so
It's very, very good. You did all the block work, which you've done that before.
I've done that many
We
times.
put the roof on, didn't we, and a few stud walls.
So we've done like a block skin, a stud wall skin, insulated, boarded. Electricians are due next week. Plasterers are due the week after. So it should be nearly ready for Christmas. For when, I do have the odd row and kind of
Get in the outhouse.
get in
live
the
in the
outhouse.
shed.
It's basically,
Yeah.
I want it to be like a bar / office / I don't know, live podcast studio, maybe for a bit of gaming or something next year. A bit more enthusiasm. I need a bit,
Yeah.
I feel like I need a bit more, not false enthusiasm.
I'm 49. I can't do enthusiasm
Yeah, I
anymore.
know what you mean,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know what you mean. So, agenda-wise, it's episode 20.
Yeah.
Obviously, I thought there's lots to talk about, to be honest. First and foremost, it's the morning after the night before.
He's back.
He's back.
Yeah.
He's back. Do it, Jack. Come on, do it.
Great shout out. I want to thank all the podcasts that helped me along the way. The great Joe Rogan went on Joe Rogan. And the Site Cabin Podcast.
Yeah.
Great guys, wonderful guys, best guys.
They're
You know what? I genuinely believe that's
Good
one
one.
of that's a top impression.
It's not bad, Jack.
Honestly,
Not bad at all.
I think even our audience, we've got a couple of audience members tonight.
It's all in.
It's all in the hands and the
soon as you-
shoulders.
as soon
And
as you
Do you think?
Yeah,
do
the
you
shoulders
think he'd
and-
employ us to finish this wall off that he started?
well, he's a lover of bricklayers.
Yeah.
He loves a bricklayer. He loves the builders. Does our truck Donald? What do you think of him? He's back.
He's back.
He's back.
I'll be honest, I ain't got a high opinion of him.
Really?
But I didn't have the Kamala Harris either.
Yeah.
Personally,
I'm the same.
I don't think they were
I'm
both
like-
either good
yeah.
candidates for
Know
the
what you mean.
presidency.
It's not the end of the world, and he's not going to save the world.
But-
it's the same, both sides, isn't it? It's-
Yeah. He's
I think it's clearly seen that Americans did favour him more in his.
Who would you rather have as a prime minister, Donald Trump or Keir Starmer?
Keir Starmer.
Trump. Fucking hell, Danny, you've had a nightmare there. Keir Starmer over Donald Trump.
Can you imagine Donald Trump in Britain?
Oh, he'd be brilliant.
He'd be just
Do you not think so?
no.
No.
You can imagine
Well, yeah,
the
we've had
Prime Minister's
Boris.
questions.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't concede to anything. He
No.
would just, any time anyone questioned him and something, he would just immediately attack.
Talk me through that impression, Jack. Talk me through it. So,
It's the.
so
so
it's the
this,
hands,
And if you're making a point, then the finger comes
the
out
finger.
like
Yeah.
this.
You're making
like
a point.
this. That's when being very serious about something. Once the finger comes out. Yeah.
It's very
That's how you
good.
do it,
It is good.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments what you think of Jack's Trump. Yeah, Jamie Henry, sorry, in the comments has just said, Trump that bitch. Don't know what he means. So he's back. Andy, anything on Trump? The guy got shot. He's 78 years old.
I think that's what done it.
I'll give him that.
Picture.
I'll give
I've
him
got to say
that.
that picture of him
Yeah.
punching the air.
Yeah, that's what
just
won him.
after he's been shot. I mean, that's pretty iconic, isn't it? That.
Yeah, I'll give him that. I mean, the thing is, another
He's
thing.
79 and he's
fucking
78.
79.
78.
78.
Yeah, he's 78.
Right, so he's fucked.
No, he's going to be fine.
Do you want to be working when you're 78?
No.
When do you want to retire?
Now.
Yeah, I'll go with
yeah,
that.
I'm feeling that.
Yeah.
No.
It's Dad's fault.
It is Dad's fault.
It's our dad's fault. It's our dad's fault.
That everyone want
Do
to
you think Dad
retire
would like Trump?
because he died too
Dad,
young.
I think Dad, did he like Trump?
He was
Kinda
he just thought he was a Burke. He wasn't like that.
Yeah, but basically, we keep talking about this a lot, but we might as well just talk about it on the pod. Fuck it.
Yeah.
But Dad's dead.
Yeah.
Dad died in February.
Yeah.
And basically, none of us want to work anymore.
No.
Well, no, I don't know about not wanting to work anymore, but like priorities have totally changed, haven't they?
100%.
In our lives.
Yeah. Just it puts everything into perspective when you think you work all your life. Dad died at 67. You think,
Yeah, about a year and
This is
18
fucking
months.
bollocks.
He got his pension.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
18
what a
months.
waste of time.
Exactly. The weirdest thing for me is, I don't know if I've said this before on the pod, is that he died at 67. I'm 47. So in my head, I just keep thinking, I've only got 20 years to live.
Yeah.
I've got 20 years left, basically, to make my mark. And I can't get it. I can't get that out of my head. I can't get rid of that.
It's like it's probably 5 because AI is going to kill us all, isn't it? In a
Well,
few years.
that's on the agenda for tonight, actually.
Is it AI?
Yeah, AI, yeah. How good's ChatGPT? I got in trouble at work the other day because I used ChatGPT for something. I'm not going to say what, but I used it for something. And then ChatGPT that I used it for got put through a Grammarly type sort of engine.
software to check
and it came out as 70% AI generated. So, and then I got asked about that, and I was a bit like, well, yeah, I did use it, but I put my parameters in, if you know what I mean, to use it. So it was still personable to me.
I've got a big thing about this in education and people using AI. I don't. Right. What's the difference between now using AI and 10 years ago, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, copying it out of a handbook?
Well, I know what you mean. It's
Out of the library.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So when somebody does a law, my friend did a law degree, his whole thing that
Did
he
he
did
cheat?
was written
Yeah, he cheated.
from books out of Manchester Library.
Yeah, but did
Yeah.
he quote them?
Yeah.
Or did he actually?
Yeah,
And
no,
you-
no.
you know,
So
but-
that's the.
No, but what's the fucking difference?
think
no,
it's-
because
you've got to show understanding.
if it's Harvard referencing.
Yeah.
So if you provide the area with this quote,
Source.
Yeah.
the source quote,
Yeah.
that's okay. That's all right.
Right, so quote
But if you
AI.
make it out that it's your words,
Yeah.
then that's not all right. But yeah.
Well,
yeah. So you're right though. Quote AI.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I used AI for a referencing sheet. You
Yeah.
can do about it. I use Google. I use a fucking handbook that people fucking use for 30
But
years.
you know, for things like, I think it's going to change everything, because you could put into it, give me a podcast script for tonight's episode based on da-da-da-da or whatever, and it just fucking do it for you. But you've still got to add your kind of humanistic.
Yeah, but we're going to develop the AI into using it for every other industry, to make a car, to paint a house, to do something else.
Yeah.
That's where it's going to go.
I don't know.
So what's
no,
the
I'm the
problem?
same. I'm a bit doubtful
I
about.
question a lot of it. It's just an algorithm.
If you could have a robot servant at home right now,
Yeah.
right, that did everything.
The one from Rocky 4.
No, not the one from Rocky 4. I know where you're going.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the one from Will Smith's film.
iRobot.
iRobot. Right, you
Well,
got
one
him
of
at
them.
home, right? Or her, whatever. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Depends what day it is.
I'm not saying anything. I'm saying, if you've got that robot at home now, would you have that robot? Say it costs you 10 grand. Tesla, AI. You wouldn't have
Is
one.
he going to take
No.
over?
Oh,
though?
come on.
They're not things. It's like those robot hoovers. You know those, what do they call them? Rumbas.
Yeah. And there's
When
robot...
When they first came out, everyone was like, oh, this is going to replace the Hoover.
yeah,
And it didn't, because they don't work, because it goes into a corner, then it bounces back against the
it
other
gets
corner.
stuck.
It's not, they say it's AI, so it increases stock prices.
Yes. Yeah.
Right, but if there was an AI
there actually
robot,
was-
like the robot in the film,
It
what's
would-
called?
iRobot.
It would have to
iRobot.
be
Yeah.
so good that it was better than a human. For it to actually replace what we already have, that's how good it would have to be.
Well, it would be, because it'd never get tired. You just
Yeah.
have to fucking...
But it could never make a mistake.
yeah,
That's the thing. It
yeah.
could never do anything.
I know exactly what you're thinking. I know exactly what you're thinking, and it is disgusting. It is disgusting.
That was thinking.
That is disgusting.
Can it do?
You're married.
There's a film about
Is he
that.
cheating though?
There is a film about that.
Because it's a robot,
where-
and not a.
I've not watched
person.
it, but he has relations with this robot, And then he's...
What? This is out at the moment?
Is it Ex Machina or something like that?
Oh, yeah. No, I've seen that film. He doesn't...
I mean, if you're going to make one, that does everything.
Yeah, fair enough. But man or woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
What's that film with Steven Spielberg? Little boy.
AI.
And then
AI.
he befriends a
Jude Law.
Jude Law.
Jude Law.
And Jude Law is a...
He's a
sex bot. He's a sex bot.
Sex bot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do we have to...
How have we got onto this?
Right, yeah, but what if we make AI into... Why does it have to be human AI? Why can't it be something based on like a tree or something like that?
Who wants a fucking boring tree? A
but
tree
it's-
robot?
I see what you mean.
That's the way it's going to understand the world is through the human perception. When it
See what you mean.
It could understand it through different perceptions.
We have to.
Like we automatically think it's got to be human.
in order for it to do anything, like the image generators.
Yeah.
People use
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
But in order for it to get anything accurately, you have to feed it. Like if you want it to
Vast
draw a
amounts
cat,
of that
you have to feed it 1
information.
billion pictures of cats.
Well, you don't have
Yeah.
to. No, because you do and you
Nuance,
don't
yeah.
because it's already got access to the internet. If you know what I mean.
But that's
so
what
you can
it's-
say,
it
I want a picture of Hitler stroking a cat on Christmas Day,
Oh, there's loads of them.
right?
Yeah.
And it'll just appear.
But he'll have 7 fingers on his hands.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Like that, it struggles getting human hands right. It
Yeah.
messes with it. It can't.
There's one that
it can't do.
tested
Something
moles
like that.
for cancerous moles in pictures, but it also selected the ruler because most moles are pictures of a measuring, something to measure the mole next to it. So it got
picks
confused.
up that in the
it picked up
pictures.
a lot of the
I
pictures
see what you mean.
had to have a ruler.
So we're way off.
Yeah, I think we are.
How far away are we from
Genuine-
a robot joiner?
100 years.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I think
It's
it's
the
a
same-
big
no,
leap.
it's
It's a
the
big
same-
leap.
it's the
It's a
same
big
thing
leap.
as-
I'm basically a robot.
It's the same thing
You
as
are.
self-driving cars.
A
Yeah, it's a
robot?
big
No,
leap.
they're close.
No,
They're now.
no,
We've got
I
them
don't
now.
know.
No,
I
no,
don't.
we
I-
don't.
We've got self-driving
I thought
cars now.
Elon, Trump's mate,
No.
Did Elon?
No,
he
even
launched
he
some a few
knows.
weeks
Shout
ago.
out to Elon. I know
There's
he's a fan.
there's more neural connections in our brain than there is stars
Yeah.
in the universe. It's
Can
that-
a self-driving?
it's really
you know
ridiculous,
those
our
times
brains.
when you're driving, you're on the motorway.
Yeah.
Something happens in front of you, and you have to turn left and turn right, and then those
Shit like that. And you're swerving.
millisecond. Those things that happen once every 5 years when you're driving.
Yeah.
Once in every 1,000 drives.
Yeah.
It can like cruise control. It can drive forward in a straight line.
But there'd be no
It can take over.
There'd be no
we had-
traffic.
It can take over.
But we
Teslas
had-
can take
we
over.
had AI in Grand Theft Auto 20 years ago.
Yeah,
It can turn left and right.
And
It
what do
can
we do with it?
stop at a red light.
Mess with
No,
prostitutes.
but even
we set fire to people.
But even the cars that you're not controlling, they can stop at a red light, turn left, turn right,
Yeah.
indicate.
Jack's not a
But
fan, is he?
I agree, though. I agree with him.
When you
It's
get,
overblown.
we might be with AI or self-driving cars. We could be 90% of the way there and 95% of the way. But the closer you get, the more complicated it gets.
Yes.
To get to 100%, and in order, and 100% is
Human.
it has to be not just human, but actually better than how a human would do it.
The young perspective.
Because
you see, brings
that's
that
then
to the pot.
that's only then would it replace would it actually replace, like even in car factories, they have machines that can put the doors on and stuff,
Yeah.
but they still have humans at every station because the robots mess up
Yeah,
sometimes.
it's just a more
as they
advanced
fuck
form of
and
automation.
paint
Yeah.
the windows or something.
AI for me is like I'm using it in my job now on a daily basis. So it is having an impact right now.
But then they used another AI to check for the AI.
yes, they
Is
did.
that because that's what the other thing
That
is?
is a great point.
Yeah.
Actually.
So
That's good.
Using AI to write the email and using
Yeah,
AI.
AI
to
is
check
the
email.
wrong
Oh,
term.
that's a great point.
No, I think
Yeah.
AI, like Matt Jackson, AI is the wrong term. It's just a
It's not AI,
marketing
it's
term.
an algorithm.
It's an algorithm.
AI in
It's not
construction. Then
artificial intelligence.
what we're saying?
So how far away are we from a sex bot?
A sex bot.
Yeah.
Danny's only concerned about a sex bot.
Because if you think about
Is it cheating?
no, but like where?
Is it cheating? Answer that question.
A sex bot joiner.
Yeah.
So it's cheating.
No, it is.
So if
It's a complete replica of a human person, then actually technically,
so if your wife used something,
yeah,
is that cheating?
that's more of an aid. It's a weird balance. No, because
Great point. No, it's not. You're
it's,
right.
no, it's
no,
a really tricky point. Yeah.
So
it's a great point.
do you know what I mean? Because for us guys, maybe one day it could be a good option for us. I don't know if it. I don't know. Well, how the fuck have we got onto this?
Yeah, but if you think about if it's genuine intelligent or genuinely conscious, then should we give it freedom?
Yeah. How?
No, don't.
Because it would be slavery if if it's something that's
Yeah.
genuinely conscious and we could control. We should give it freedom
Why should we?
because it's got a right to think. I don't know. It's like to
If it's
life.
advanced enough to be, I mean, I don't
To understand.
I don't really think that could happen. But if
Is it real understanding or like a false understanding?
Yeah, but that's
though?
there you go. That
Is
is it
that-
genuinely alive?
Is it
then?
genuinely alive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
has it been programmed to
Could
think
it
that way?
paint a beautiful master of art?
Could you? Could you? Yes, good.
You know,
good
it's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same sort of question, isn't it? Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
It's an interesting subject. I mean, we've seen an AI robot at UK Construction Week when we went down to the NEC, and it was just this big fucking daft arm, basically.
Yeah.
Not laying bricks. It was like
They
pouring
call
this
everything
mortar.
AI though, don't
And
they?
it was like, and
It's robotics.
everyone's like going, "Oh, it's amazing!
It's robotics, isn't
it's
it,
brilliant,
really?
everything." And it's like, well, it wasn't actually. It looks shit. The actual finished product, it looked like a load of plasticine.
Yeah.
Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean? But I don't know if you can create like rows and rows of foundations and then put a robot on it, and that robot prints that. It's basically a 3D printer.
It is. It's a 3D. It's the next step, but it still needs somebody to design and run it. It can't. And if it's like Jack said, if there's a slight mistake or something goes wrong, it can't self-correct,
Yeah.
or can it?
Yeah.
It makes one mistake, it hurts. It grabs someone's arm instead of
Yeah.
flicks them
Brilliant.
and crushes
Pulls it off.
somebody's arm.
Yeah.
Bang, gone forever.
I think
Never
you have
seen
one.
again.
Everyone should have a switch and just go bang, kill it.
Kill switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
If it's
Yeah, but
getting a
what
bit
if it-
out of order.
What if it learns about its kill switch and it?
And it's
you
the
know.
cost as well. Cost of the machine.
For the record, if there was an AI robot now of equivalent to like a human, I would 100% have one. 100%. Can you imagine like the mornings?
What
for
would you
example?
do to it?
No.
What would you do in the
No,
mornings?
No,
then?
forget all that. Forget all that for a minute. Just forget all that sort of seediness and darkness and evilness.
I mean,
that you-
like make a coffee or something.
yeah, just the simple things like in the mornings and stuff.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
What, does it put the coffee in first, or does it put the sugar or the milk in
Well,
first?
you know, you'd
Yeah.
say to it, you'd shout at
He
it.
definitely puts the
What,
fucking.
what about the teaspoons?
Coffee
Teaspoon,
in.
teaspoon and a half.
I'd
What does
shout-
It, what does it consider to be a
Shout
teaspoon
at
and
I
a
don't
half?
know about these things, but I know I would shout at my robot. I know I would.
So you
Because it's not got any feelings.
You want Downton Abbey with robots?
Kind of, yeah. I
Yeah.
suppose I do actually, yeah. I want
Yeah.
Downton.
Downton robots.
It's
Down
a
to
dark,
the-
it's
down
a
to
dark
the-
path to go down in it because you don't know. Is like you've mentioned it. Then is it become like a slave? Does it become like?
Yeah, but it's a robot.
I don't think it is because I don't
But
think it's
then-
going to happen.
No.
So
I'm
it can't be a
sceptical.
slave
Yeah.
because it's a robot.
But it's not going to happen.
If it's a slave, it's a robot. So
Well, the robot means slave.
Is it a machine?
It's robota.
What about
it means
Siri?
slave, doesn't it?
Does
It's
it?
No, I think it's from the Slavic for robota. It means slave.
sorry, there's a
Yeah.
comment just come in from TikTok says, "Does the guy on the right still do apprenticeships, endpoint assessments?" As I recognise him, yes, I think he does.
What's your name?
Cam Harper. Yeah, Cam, he does. If you're
Yes,
still with us,
I do.
Yes, he does. Get with the program, Cam.
I can.
Shout out to Cam. So that's robots. So kind of.
Yeah.
The future of building.
So basically, what we've established here is we'd all have it as like a housekeeper. Danny'd have it as a sex slave, basically.
I'd have it as a friend like Bender from Futurama.
No, I,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's a bit
No.
sick and
See what?
twisted,
See, I'll
that,
tell you
man.
what though. See what Trump does and Elon
I hope you're in
when they come together.
It's a stitch up for money. It's just
even,
all a stitch
even,
up
even
for more
he,
money.
He knows.
He does. It's a stitch up.
He's
It's
been
just
in it
about-
that far. He knows how far it can
Make
go.
sure he wants to keep China out of the electric car
Yeah.
business. That's what he's
Yeah.
doing.
Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, let's
Solve
move.
that. Boom. Done.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Andy, did you have a segment or
Yes.
something you want to
Well,
mention?
I know we're always going back to the housing crisis, but I thought we'd go down a different part of that, and it's social housing, and why we are with social housing now and how it started.
It's a mess.
It is, but social housing kind of gradually came out of the Home for Heroes after the First World War.
Because First World War.
After the First World War,
Yeah, so
But part of it was from that the level of recruits that they got, they weren't healthy and they were malnourished, and they thought that they needed better homes.
basically,
That was part of the reason.
so were them houses already built, or
There was a social housing, like various schemes, like through Christian schemes and philanthropists who were building houses
from sex robots to
to
social
this
housing?
social housing from
This
like
is the beauty of this podcast.
it is, from like the 1850s.
Yeah.
But it gradually came into law, and the provision started properly after the Second World War.
So basically, we went to war.
Yes.
We went to war. Everyone came back and kind of was like, "Fuck this! I'm not working.
Post-war contract.
I'm not being a servant anymore. I'm working in a big
Yeah,
house."
that gradually changed from the First to the Second World War. But by the end of the Second World War, with
Should have a segment like Andy's segment.
Yeah.
Like a voiceover.
So
like Clement Attlee with the welfare state. Help. We need more.
America,
to
the
help
same
out.
thing with the GI Bill.
They did.
Things like that.
Yeah.
What was that?
It's a good way.
Well, it was basically
University.
a contract for returning veterans.
They could go to university.
They could go back and study.
Brilliant.
Houses that were built for them.
And it worked.
Why
have we got fucking half of London's homeless ex-veterans then?
Right. Well, this is when you get into it. From 1945 to 1979, local councils, this is council houses, they built 4.4 million homes, bringing up the national stock.
Say them years again, Andy.
From 45 to say 1980, we built as a country, the councils built 4.4 million homes.
Hell.
What was the population then?
The population in the 80s was about 56 million.
Yeah.
So from about 1980 to in the mid-90s.
So we built a fifth. A 20th.
Well, it's not exactly. It's not one person for one home, is it?
No. But if you look at, we don't fucking do that now.
Not as much. No.
750,000 homes a year at the moment.
And hasn't the population gone up in the last 30?
Right. I have got that.
10 million in 14 years.
I have got that point to be part of it.
Carry on. Sorry. Carry on.
Yeah. So from 45 to 79 houses, we built 4.4 million council houses or social housing.
Yeah.
And added to a stock of 6.5 million homes by then. So in the 80s, we had 6.5 million at social housing. It's gone back to 3.8 million.
Fucking hell, because we've sold them.
We've sold them. We've done the right to buy. Now, as
yeah.
Dad actually always said this, the right to buy was a great idea, get people on the housing market, but they didn't replace them, or didn't replace them quickly enough or enough.
So where's everyone living now then?
Right, now this is another one. In 1919, 90% of people, they rented their house from a private landlord.
Ah, okay, right.
By the 1980s, it was 10%.
What was 10%?
It was 90% of people rented from
I'm
a private landlord,
right.
And by the 80s, it was only 10% that rented from a private landlord.
And do you reckon that's gone back up now?
That's gone to about 19%. It's creeping back up.
Doubled in the last few decades.
So and also it helps with when you increase the social housing, it keeps housing prices lower because people can rent, and it's reasonable rents. The rents were only something like
the fixed.
They were fixed.
Practically fixed.
They were. They were about 20% of the wages.
Yeah, which is it's a social housing that has been or was a huge success in the UK
was.
for for decades.
No, it was, and it led, and council housing. It wasn't something to be ashamed of to have a council house.
No, it shouldn't be anyway. But
it also it's the greatest transfer of wealth. But people got into buying houses because it kept the private housing market lower because of the amount of social housing.
Yeah.
Because people had the chance to go and rent somewhere cheaper. So houses were cheaper to buy per average. So more people. I mean,
now we're in a right old state.
Yes, because we're
in a mess.
There's a guy called Tom Nicholas who's got a great YouTube documentary on it. And it's how we solved the housing crisis.
Shout out to Tom.
By the 80s, our housing problem was solved from, say, 1920s.
Well, it's interesting you mention that because just the other day I was looking at the rise of house prices over time, and it was at the end of the 80s when that huge.
It was. We've done something on that. About a few episodes back.
And, we did
about episode 12.
Because I was looking at it when I was because the problem is
13.
House prices have gone up 6 times, 7 times, which they were, but
it's mad.
Salaries have only gone up.
No, a couple of times. No, it's now you used to need 3 times your wage for a mortgage.
Like 6 or 7 times.
It's
now.
8.
Yeah,
it's now
8 times.
On
yearly
average,
salary.
I think it's the median wage is 8 times.
But the mortgage companies
fucking Tories.
3.5.
No, and in the 80s,
which is right.
In the 80s, the mortgages got out of control. It was opened up.
Thatcher.
It was Thatcher.
But the biggest problem is, I actually agree. You know, like interest rates going up.
Thatcher being bombed at Brighton.
Oh yeah, that's.
Do you know, like when we talk about prices of houses and interest rates, what they are now, I think it's all right. I genuinely
we should
do.
have interest rates. Right. You should be an interest.
It's all to do with everyone's fucking wages. Are fucking miles behind.
Yeah,
miles fucking behind. Forget
prices.
Forget interest rates. Everyone's wages are fucking too low.
Salaries I saw as well.
Ridiculous.
Ever since the financial crisis, they've basically it's all
Dad
important
Dad
stuff.
earned £600 a week in the 90s.
And it was
No, he did.
In the 90s.
He did.
They've all
I know.
As a bricklayer,
I know. He had fucking 4 kids at private school.
£600 a week
3.
in the 90s.
How many bricklayers could afford to pay?
Yeah, but he
the
didn't
rate?
last. He didn't
No,
last.
he didn't
I know,
last.
but he
it's
tried.
still a
He
fa-
tried. He
It's
did.
still a thing.
Yeah.
4 fucking kids at private school,
Yeah.
paying fucking private school fees.
Yeah.
A bricklayer can't afford to do that now.
No, well, he can't even dream of sending his son to a
How
private
much is a
school
bricklayer
or
on
something.
now a week?
About the same, about 700. No,
Let's
maybe
say
1,000.
on a
I think
price.
maybe a grand.
I say a
good
grand.
price.
I say a grand a week.
On a
Right,
good
but they're
price.
working the bollocks off.
But
They're really working the
But
bollocks
they're on
off.
£1,000 a week, and everyone goes, "Yeah, they're on a fucking £1,000 a week." Bricklayers on £1,000
Yeah,
a
but
week.
no
right?
holiday pay.
But what happens with that £1,000? Your body gets fucking raped.
Yeah,
Yes.
That's what happens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So you're earning £1,000, but you're giving your fucking body.
Yeah, you've
over.
got to finish 10 years earlier.
And your holiday pay, your sick pay, your tax.
Exactly.
You everything.
Your
and-
working
and
costs.
You lost working
Your
rain
working
and,
costs.
and
Yeah.
other stuff. But also, so say if he's right, so let's just say he works every week, every day of the fucking week, works 52 weeks a year, 52 grand a year, which he's
50.
not, by
50.
the way.
Give it- let's say
right, it's
50.
50 grand a year, right?
Or her.
And he's working the bollocks off. That person is working the bollocks off. The mortgage company come along and say, I'll give you 3.5 times your fucking salary. Right, so you can buy a house that's 175 grand. What the fuck are you buying for 175 grand?
Barely
Exactly.
anything.
Right.
Well, barely
You'd
fuck off.
struggle.
So,
getting it.
so what I mean
Terrace.
is, £600 a week, 30 years ago,
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Fair.
was 28.5 grand a year.
Probably £2,000 a
Right.
week now. That or something.
You could buy a 4-bedroom house
Yeah.
with 2
he
cars
did.
on the drive.
And he
Yeah.
did.
What was you going to say? Sorry, we interrupted
Well,
you.
so it's since the where wage growth just flatlined in this country
90s.
was after the financial recession
2008.
2008. That was when
Bastard bankers again.
Ever since then, it's flatlined basically
Yeah.
because the population's increased massively as well. But so the amount of people working has grown,
Yeah.
but there's not it hasn't kept up with. Everything else hasn't kept up with it. The amount of houses being.
I went
built,
out for a
social
drink the other
housing,
day.
everything.
I'll come back
Yeah.
to this. I went out for a drink the other day with some friends and family. I got introduced to a guy who was in finance. And he was like, "Oh, what do you do?" And I was like, "What do you do?" You know, that awkward meet when you first, what do you do? And I can't be bothered going into my job because it's a bit convoluted with construction and education and stuff. So I said, "Oh, like a bricklayer, an assessor, tutor." That's basically what I say. Can't be asked. And he's like, "Oh, right, yeah." And then he started going about cowboy builders to me
Yeah.
straight away.
About them fucking
Like
cunts.
cowboy
Who
bankers.
did all
So I
that
said,
in
I said to him,
2008.
worst people, they're the worst.
I said to him, "What do you do?" And he's like, he's in finance.
Did you
So
say
he's going on
straight
about
back?
cowboy building. So I said, "I'll tell you something. Not one cowboy builder has
Yeah.
ever brought the fucking economy down
Yeah. Do you-
because you lying
Yeah.
bastards. You know what I mean? All
Greed,
milking
ripping-
and squeezing
Yeah.
every essence of.
A lot of people should have gone to prison in 2000.
Yeah, they should have done,
A lot
and
of people
nobody
should.
did.
No, because
And
they didn't want to
nobody
crash
did.
the system. They were worried about crashing the system.
Yeah. And I tell you another thing that pisses me right off. You know that BBC Watchdog program? Shout out to the BBC, by the way. You didn't take up the podcast for BBC Sounds, but
I wouldn't want to be on there anyway.
your loss. 30 million,
fuck- fuck
30
payment.
million views later, your loss. But anyway,
I'm not paying me TV license.
but the guy on BBC Watchdog, he's he's always going after cowboy builders. Well, can you start going after cowboy dentists?
Oh, yeah.
Can you start going after cowboy accountants?
Yeah.
Can you start going after cowboy fucking
Cowboys.
cowboys?
Cowboys.
Cowboys. But you know what I mean? Politicians, exactly.
Politicians.
From the cheap seats there. We've just been heckled by the beautiful Dan. No, but he's right though. Cowboy politicians.
It's how easy it is to catch someone out though.
Yeah.
If you can't. What always happens with the cowboy builders and everything? How do they catch them? They set a camera up in some old lady's home.
Yeah.
Some guy comes round. He says it's going to be $5,000 for a thing. You can't do that with a bank. You can't set up a private camera in their
Yeah.
office. You can't.
No, you're right.
But what I'm saying is they're it's the easiest. It's the lowest hanging fruit to go after.
Yeah, and by the way, there's some absolute scumbag cowboy builders
Yeah,
that
there
are
are.
vile, that are vile people.
I've known there's a
Yeah,
quite
there's
two
some
of them. I know.
scumbag
Yeah.
cowboy builders that are just the scum
no
of the
morals
earth.
at all.
But the point I'm making is there are cowboys in all
Everybody.
these
In
other
finance,
industries.
there is.
Especially in finance.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're fucking full of them. If you watch that film, The Big Short,
Oh,
the best scene in that
Margin
is when
call.
he's
Yeah.
basically or margin call.
No, he's talking to that guy in
no,
Vegas, isn't
no,
he?
when I can't remember. Is it Steve Carell?
Yeah.
Yes.
When he's talking to the stripper, and he asks her how many loans have you got, and she says, "I've got 5 houses."
5
honey."
houses, yeah.
Right.
It's like it's
And he
unsustainable.
basically goes back to these people who sold them all these mortgages.
Yeah.
And was like,
Yeah.
"Do you know what you've done to these people?
So they get to sell that on
And they
straight away.
fucking hundreds and hundreds of people doing that all around the world.
But that just
selling
wasn't,
loans
that wasn't
and mortgages.
Yeah.
That wasn't one person. That was a collective agreement by the banking
'Cause I know-
industry.
Oh, by the industry, yeah.
To say that we can give you loans based on the fact of the value of these properties and everything, but knowing full well that they couldn't ever be paid back, or if the interest rates went up by a slight amount, they'd all be absolutely fucked.
Well, that's why 0% interest rates are a terrible idea, because everything goes crazy.
Yeah.
Because eventually interest rates have to go back to normal.
That's why I do think at the moment, I know people say about the mortgage going up, and I do appreciate it. Mine's gone up. But
No, you need an interest rate.
it's about
You need to
right.
stop
It's
things from going
wages
mad.
though
We had
that
about
are
a
way
whole
wrong.
decade.
Wages need to
We
catch
had
up.
Wages are
we
wrong.
had thousands of years
And I
of
don't
at
just
least
mean
5%,
construction. I mean
7% interest.
everybody,
Yeah.
nurses, doctors,
Yeah.
police officers.
Oh, hang on. They just had a pay rise, haven't they, the nurses? Didn't they just get a pay
Well,
rise?
I love
The Tories
the
came in and gave the fucking train drivers, they all got a pay
Labour.
rise. Sorry, Labour, not the Tories, Labour. They gave them they paid out £9 billion worth of pay rises, I think, didn't they? So
just to get back to the social
and construction
housing.
had a 10% reduction in prices.
No, they have.
Red Row Homes, talking specifically to you.
So what were you saying, Andy? Sorry.
Yeah, because more people could have, because social housing actually kept house prices stable and lower, so more people could buy a house. And that period from 45 to 79 was the greatest change of wealth in the history of this country. That's when working people could get some wealth.
Yeah.
Because they could buy a house.
And
That's the greatest exchange of wealth.
An important note about that period as well, after the Second World War, is the huge rise in birth rates.
Yeah.
The baby boom generation. So there was a huge generation that were much bigger than everyone else around them. They were like twice the size of their parents' generation, and they were bigger than their children's generation as well, and grandchildren. So that as a collective, which is granddad's, your dad's generation, they had a huge amount of buying power because they outnumbered every other group. So all throughout their lives, they've always been marketed to everything. They were able to drive money towards them as a generation.
I see what you mean.
You can see that in politics in America, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
I do see what you mean, actually.
Yeah.
That specific kind of group of people,
That demographic.
are always targeted.
Which is why we have a problem now, is that they're all reaching retirement age.
Yeah.
And there aren't really as many young. Say in the 70s, for every person over 65, you had 3 people under 30. Just say, I'm not saying that's exactly what it was, but it would have been roughly that. Now it's almost inverted.
Yeah.
For every 3 people over the age of 65, or 2.5, there's only 1 person working. Paying the state pension.
People living longer.
People living longer, but also they're
Apart from our dad.
I was going to say not fucking bad, didn't he?
Yeah, well,
1 year's pension.
Yeah, well, the pensions,
Yeah.
it's not paid through the government saving you money, it's paid through the people working now.
Well, this is
Yeah.
another thing. So the theory story goes that the country is 2 weeks in front.
Yeah.
I don't know how true that actually is, but I'm sure there's a modicum of truth within it.
As in,
So if everything stopped today,
yeah.
everything stopped, and I mean everything, we'd have enough for 2 weeks worth of social security payments and dole payments, and then it'd gone, be gone.
Right.
So the money keeps coming in, but the money keeps going out, keeps coming in, keeps going out.
So
Unless
like-
you get COVID and they just go, fuck it, everyone can have £1,000 a month, and
So if GoldenEye happened
golden
and they
eye.
shut down the Bank of England,
Yeah,
that's how.
Yeah.
it
Actually, I've got a theory about that. Right, you've got your national debt, and you've got
Who do we owe that to, though?
a lot of it we owe kind of to ourselves in bonds that we.
Yeah.
It's really complicated.
I don't know what that means. I'm
Well,
not trying
listen,
to. I'm not
I think the
digging you
country-
out.
I know,
I'm just-
but the country's real wealth is the infrastructure that's already been built,
Yeah.
plus the people.
Yeah.
and maybe some sort of solid like reserves of gold.
Yeah,
or-
well, it's not. It's all fiat currency now, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
all just
There's no gold
the
standard.
promise to pay
Yeah.
type of thing.
So it's all bullshit, basically.
Yeah, no, it's all belief. But I think, really, even if you've got loads of debt and you spend more money, but if you spend it on infrastructure, that's not going away.
No, because it'll be
It's
there.
increased
yeah,
wealth.
It'll always be there.
You're
Yeah.
actually increasing the physical wealth of a country.
It's why as well, America definitely does this, and we probably do as well. It's why the value of the pound is constantly going down, just as the value of the US dollar is constantly going down.
Yeah.
Because if
Printing
it's
more.
less, if it's worth less, say
It's deep.
like
this.
inflation, like £1 10 years ago, the buying power of a pound 10 years ago is £1.30 now.
We've said it many times on this podcast.
So but that makes the national debt less.
How much was a Freddo when you were a kid?
Yeah, inflation is the best way of getting out of debt. If you have more
'cause
inflation,
it's
you spiral out of debt. I mean, it's a bit more complicated.
What was a Freddo when we were kids? 10p.
Well, for 10p mix, you could get loads. You get
What's a Freddo now today?
£1. Don't know.
I've seen them at
10p.
65p.
I've seen Freddos.
I think they'd be out of date Freddos.
No, they stopped taking the price off Freddos, didn't they?
Yeah.
It's when they did that.
They've caught
it's
on
when they
to it
stopped
now.
putting the 10p's off.
Yeah.
Cadbury's have gone wise, haven't they?
You know, we need to create a Freddo index of prices.
I want to mention we went to present some. We went to present at some awards, didn't we?
We did.
We presented at
Apprenticeship
the
Awards.
Construction Apprenticeship Awards 2024 in Manchester.
Yeah.
We were asked to go and present, and we presented some awards. That was quite good. Seeing the
Did.
apprentices and stuff.
We met some brilliant apprentices actually that night.
We did, didn't we?
To all the
Should we give them a
nominees.
shout out?
All of them.
Shout
they
out
were
to the
brilliant.
apprentices that we met.
Yeah.
Comment from TikTok. The guy in green passed me on my level 2 joinery a couple of years ago. Can't remember your name. Sorry.
What's MH? What's your name? I'm Dan.
He's Rudiger. He's Rudiger.
I love the way Danny sort of talks to it like it's
Person.
OnlyFans or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know.
Only
Do you want
dance.
to- do you want to lap dance?
Only
for
dance.
it?
That was Jay.
Only dance. Yeah,
Only
yeah.
dance.
Only dance.
Yeah.
That's something that we actually probably will start up one day, basically.
Only
But
dance.
we have got a couple of people in the audience today. I don't know if you want to quickly shout hello. Hello, there's one. Hello, there's the other. I think we're going to get one of them on towards the end of the pod.
The second.
Yeah, it's a big surprise.
We're going to get one of them on.
Surprise
It's a
guest.
bit of a
Big
surprise.
surprise.
A bit
Quite
of a
Very
surprise.
famous. Very
I genuinely
famous.
feel a bit emotional.
You feel a bit
Yeah.
emotional, don't you, Dan?
When I came up the stairs before and I saw both of them. I was happy to see them both.
Yeah.
Particularly one,
Yeah.
but not
It was a nice.
not the one that shares my name.
Yeah. It was a nice surprise.
It was a
wasn't
lovely
Yeah.
surprise, to be honest. Yeah.
One of our audience members he's got quite famous recently because he was on
He's on Sky,
Sky, wasn't he? He was
giving
on-
it the big one.
giving it the big
talking
one,
to Roy
Giving it the big
Keane.
one.
Yeah.
giving it all this shit
Yeah,
about.
I think he's the new man.
Yeah, I think,
manager,
yeah,
isn't
I
he?
think he probably would do a better job. For those that didn't hear that, Dan's sorry, our guest said he got told to, yeah. Actually, I've just remembered something. I'm going to open this live on
Oh yeah.
live.
What is this? Yeah.
This is a new addition to the table bought by me. So you know the rule that when you go on holiday, you have to bring something back to the table. You never follow that.
I don't know.
Neither do you.
No.
And neither do you, actually.
Oh, right, I bought the thing from Rio, didn't I?
What did you buy?
Oh wait, no. I bought
No, that was Sam.
That was
No,
Sam.
it's
Oh, it's
That
so
was one of
Sam.
our main
I-
watchers.
I gave that to Nana and Grandad. That's what it was.
So I went to Greece on holiday. I went to Kos on holiday, and I thought,
did
I
you
love
get?
this.
you get?
It's not construction. You probably all just
Is it the
laugh.
Colossus of Rhodes or something?
Don't
What is
care.
it?
I don't care. But I think
It's heroin.
I just saw it. I thought I've got to buy it. I've got to buy
Oh,
it.
I like that.
I've got to buy it.
It's a Spartan helmet.
I was a Spartan helmet.
That's nice.
Had to buy it for
That's
the table.
really good. I like
Had
that.
to buy it. That cost me €15.
It's all right. That.
But you know, it's a tradition.
Could have Achilles could have
Now,
worn
if
that,
you're
couldn't
gonna
he?
design
Oh,
a safety
you
helmet,
should have
on
a safety
site,
helmet
do
like
it
that.
properly.
Sure.
Right. If give me that, Dan.
Yeah.
So if a hard
Manufacturer.
if a hard hat looked like that,
Wear it every day.
all the time.
you could get away with it on site,
Yeah.
would you wear that hard hat or that hard
I'd
hat?
wear it
wear
to
that one,
bed.
I'd wear the green
I'd wear
one.
it to bed with my wife and everything.
You'd wear
Yeah.
it like with the full.
I'd-
God almighty. We're now getting heckled for the he's had. I
no,
think he's had a drink.
Honestly, if they made those and everyone said, "Listen, got a new out, you have to wear this on site," I'd be like,
Wear that.
no problem.
Yeah.
Everyone would wear them.
So shout out to hard hat manufacturers. If you want to start making hard hats that are really popular for people to wear, why don't you start making them like that?
Yeah.
Full.
Everyone would
Or
wear
do a
them.
whole range of different historical helmets.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
a German World War II
World War
one.
II one. Yeah.
Would you wear that one?
I don't
Or the
know
old
about
like the round
German.
head ones, from the English Civil War, all that
Yeah.
one. Type of stuff.
No. So
They do a cowboy one. I have seen.
Yeah,
I've
they do
seen
do
a cowboy
one.
hard hat.
Yeah.
It says ancient Greek helmet. So
Nice.
there you go. There you go.
Yeah, I like that.
There's your ancient Greek helmet. I just thought I'd present that to the table
Yeah, very
tonight.
nice.
So.
It's a great. Dave,
Do you like it?
Done well,
Yeah, it's good.
You're feeling it.
Done well.
I like that.
So that is the new
Yeah.
rule for next
fact,
years.
it needs a bit
Don't
more.
drop
Yeah,
it.
it needs to be at the front.
Needs to be at the front. For put him in front. No, get him. The camera
Right
will
at the
be able to
front.
pick him up. Put him in the middle, Dan. For next year's
solid, that,
pod,
wasn't
because we're obviously it's episode 20. So after today, It's the day after Bonfire Night, 6th of November. So we're not finishing yet. We've still got about another 20 minutes, but we will be. We're going to be changing the pod, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
So it's still the Site Cabin Podcast, but it's going to be, I don't know, anything we want it to be, basically, not just construction. We're going to. I think it actually already has changed. Or am I wrong?
I don't think it has changed. I think it's always the whole. One of the people, hopefully, who's coming on tonight. One of the reasons we all started this up was because we said, "What is a site cabin?" So a site cabin is where people sit around a table, having the dinner, talking shit about any subject. Yeah. So it's not changed in that it's all about construction. We are from construction, but the emphasis was the table and sitting around and doing a podcast was. Yeah,
you're right. You can talk about anything in the cabin.
In the cabin. Anything. That was the that was the whole reason we started it.
Actually, I've met some really clever people from. I'm being very genuine now. You know,
I think I've met people from every single walk of life in the site cabin.
Yeah.
And the amount of different political opinions, religious opinions, everything you can come through. You meet some people who are very intelligent, people who are not very intelligent, people who have belly laugh.
Total thickos.
But also people who have belly laugh.
Yeah.
I've seen some of the funniest things I've ever seen. Yeah. I can't even, you couldn't write it, some of the things you've seen. And some of the stories, and also, you know, we've talked about this before as well. There's lots of men out there. We've talked about in difficult times as well.
So out of the this is the 20th, but out of the 9 episodes this season, and this is the 10th one, our most watched episode, our most successful episode, was the episode on basically mental health, episode 17.
Yeah.
It was our most watched episode this season. Mm-hmm. I think in terms of the actual episode views and listens, whatever you want to call them, and also clips, that episode got about 2 million views from different sort of.
Well, I hope it's helped somebody.
Scenarios of it. And all.
I hope it's
helped somebody. You was crying on it. I think I was crying on it.
Yeah.
Sort of discussing all sorts of different stuff. So we've talked about a lot of stuff this season, this year. We talked about a lot. Anything that sticks out with anybody?
The one on ancient construction one. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that.
Andy Love.
I enjoyed that.
That was 14 marvels, construction marvels of the past.
Yeah, it's all the stuff on the table. I think
we did one on the big one that sticks out for me was just after Dad's funeral.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That one for me personally. But in terms of what I've seen, I don't really watch them back, to be quite honest with you, because I can't be asked.
You never watch them, do you, Dan?
I can't watch myself.
I can't watch myself.
Whereas I have it on a loop.
Yeah.
But is that me again?
Yeah.
He's not joking there.
Speakers all around the house. Yeah. Like, is that the podcast?
I don't know how that's got on. What's happened there?
We did one about MVQs. And now something we haven't mentioned.
Do you know what? There's a couple of things we need to speak about that. That's all right.
Yeah.
Go on, carry on.
It was. Now, there's a lot of people in this room actually who've worked in construction and worked in the educational side of it.
Yes.
And some very experienced people. Two of our guests actually know a lot about it as well tonight. But me and you spoke after, and we said, I didn't realise, or I've never realised how much people don't know about the difference between an MVQ, an endpoint assessment,
a CSCS card,
a CSCS card, a city and the people call it city and girls, and I got my city and girls. I did and
Danny.
The difference, when you read all the comments, you thought no one's got a clue.
The amount of time
about the difference.
You absolutely bang on. The amount of times people will say to me, "I've got my city and girls. I need my city and girls. I've not got my city and girls. How do I get my city and girls?" Yeah. They're not talking about city and girls. Are just an awarding body.
Yeah.
There are fucking loads of awarding bodies that do
the
construction exact same qualifications.
Yeah, it's Coca-Cola, isn't it?
It's Coca-Cola.
It's McDonald's.
Yeah.
It's that kind of... Because I don't think a lot of people realise that they're private companies.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm not slating City and Girls in any way.
No, my qualifications were City and Girls.
That's how successful it's been, that you can just say City and Girls. Yeah.
But the building industry don't understand. They don't get that. You are right from that episode that we did about that.
I was amazed with everything, and when I was reading through the comments, I was like, how they don't get like, you should do this. Now there is a few comments that you want me to say it personally? I do. Should an apprenticeship be 2 years? No. Should it be 3 years? No. I actually think it should be 5.
5 years.
I genuinely personally believe that an apprenticeship should be a long period of time, and then at the end of the day, you do like a test, which is a new way of doing it, an endpoint assessment, which actually I think is a brilliant way. But I do think an apprenticeship should be longer. Personally, that's my personal belief.
Can we just mention them briefly about endpoint assessments, because we never really have actually.
No.
So, an endpoint assessment is a practical exam at the end of a learner's apprenticeship.
It's a brilliant
journey,
thing to do.
at either level 2 or at level 3. So if you do a level 2 apprenticeship in a construction qualification, at the end of that apprenticeship, you don't pass unless you pass a practical endpoint assessment, which is where you have to build a model or whatever, and that proves your capabilities. You don't do that with your training provider. So if you go to a college and do your apprenticeship with that college, you have to go to an independent training provider to be deemed practical enough, passable enough, your quality is good enough, basically.
I remember when I first learnt about it, it's basically a driving test.
Yeah,
that's all. The best way of thinking is you learn about the knowledge. You go to a test centre and you do your knowledge test.
Yeah,
right. You learn with a teaching examiner to learn how to drive, and then you go to an independent test centre. Yeah. And you have your driving test, and they test you, and they prove you can do it, and it's an hour's test, whatever. In this way, depending on which trade you are, it can be 2 days, it can be 1 day, it can be 3 days. It depends what it is. But it's a wonderful way. Your college or your employer, should I say, actually chooses the endpoint assessment organisation.
Yeah, they do.
And then you can you then get assessed independently at the end of your apprenticeship.
And that's
a brilliant way of doing it.
That's live right now. That is how you have to. If you're doing an apprenticeship in construction right now, that's how you have to do an apprenticeship. I'll guarantee we'll get, if we put that clip up, we'll get some hate saying, no, it's bullshit. You should have to do this and you should have to do that. The amount of people that don't have a clue actually what they're actually talking about. They've got a small modicum of an idea of what they're talking about.
It was quite amazing.
I'm not having a go at them. They just don't understand it. They just don't know.
It was quite shocking, the comments when you read them, about how little people know about, like, how to
actually just go and get a qualification in your industry.
Or even what they think they get a qualification, and then the difference between a CSCS card and then the difference between an apprenticeship and the difference between an OSAT route. I was amazed actually that.
I do need to just mention one thing about CSCS cards, because there is a change on CSCS cards coming. Grandfather rights will be leaving us by the end of this year, 31st of December 2024. So you can no longer, there's 13 current cards available, but there'll only be 12 from next year because the grandfather rights one is going. There is an additional thing that's just come out as well about labourers' green cards. So I think it's from next year, but don't quote me exactly on that. But they will only be available for a 2-year period rather than a 5 years. So if you take the qualification and gain the labourer's green card, CSCS card, you can only get it for 2 years until you can prove that you are working as a labourer in the industry. Then it will be extended to 5 years. And the reason for that is because, and I'll be dead honest, there are hundreds and thousands of people up and down the country that have been getting labourers' green CSCS cards and then going working as joiners, bricklayers, plasterers, plumbers, electricians.
Right, just to get on site.
Just
to pass the health and safety.
Exactly.
Basically.
So now what they're saying is your job must match your card. So if you are a labourer, you have to have a green card. And if you're a joiner, you shouldn't have a green card. Right. You need a blue or a gold card.
Right, so it's lads who haven't got the actual, they can do it, but they haven't got the quals.
Or ladies.
So they need to, they need to do a UPAR or something like that.
So in a sense, it's a quick way of getting on site.
Basically, it's like that scene in Casino where he tells him...
It's exactly that.
You don't have to be the manager of the casino. Just say you're
food and
working
beverage,
in catering and
beverage.
That gets you in the casino.
That's what it is.
I love it. I love it.
They put it at the bottom of the pile for 5 years.
Perfect analogy of what the green CSCS card is has been happening to it, basically. A couple of other episodes. We had a really successful one, which was tool theft.
Yes.
Danny's, the most watched clip of the whole year, the whole season, was Danny's on remote finding tools, like a, not
Like a
air
tracker.
tags,
Oh,
like
the
a tracker.
the
Milwaukee.
the Milwaukee tracker. Yeah,
Yeah.
which we've since found out actually that a lot of the DeWalt's are doing it now. The other brands are doing it now.
Yeah.
Which is a brilliant way of doing it.
That one clip did about, I think it was about 800,000 views, that one clip.
Doing that for a curry tonight. Can
So
they keep spend? Can they? If they send more stuff, we get more money.
basically, yes. Yeah, basically, yes. No, we obviously don't do it for that because we never thought this would ever be anything other than a chat amongst three lads, really. Not really.
No, I'm joking.
Not really like that. So the episodes that we did family, CSCS cards, UK house prices, construction marvels of the past. I Just Want Diabetes was an episode, which is where I think I talked about eating 17 cream eggs in a day. Everything and anything, mental health, Euro 2024, and of course, tool theft. There's about sort of 10, 12, 15-ish minutes left. I wonder if it might be possible. Danny, what, go on?
Just a quick one. Quick, very good question. This from the live. I have a question. I'm a full-time employed as a carpenter. My work have given me a snag list, and my work want me to do it for free. Is this fair? Great question.
A snag list. Well, if it's a snag list, then it's
part of the
might be
price.
suggested. If it's work that you've done already, but you fucked up, there's an argument slightly there. But if it's a general snag list, I'd say absolutely not. You won't pay for that. You won't pay
Depends
for
on
that.
the briefing.
Just talking to the live and talking to the general audience. So from January, we are 100% doing one night a week live. And when I say we, probably me, because I don't think you guys, you can come on it if you want to come on it. It'll be at my house in the studio in my house. And we'll also be doing, which is something we've never done before, but we'll also be doing live gaming one night a week as well from January onwards. Probably a bit of COD, a bit of Fortnite, a bit of, I don't know, just a bit of fun. Just a bit of fun.
If you want to watch something funny, watch
If you want to see Danny fly out of the red zone and die straight away.
What was that Daley Thompson game for the Commodore 64?
No,
Daley
Andy,
Thompson's Olympic.
Andy is so old.
No,
You
do
are
that one.
the Spectrum, what was it? Spectrum.
48K.
ZX Spectrum.
No, have a game
How
of
do I know the
Exploding
name of
Fist.
that?
Yeah, and the Amiga.
Have
and
a go at Game of Exploding Fist.
Yeah, and Andy's just so old. So that's what we're going to be doing for next year, as well as the 10, maybe 12 podcasts as well, individual. Before we finish today's episode, we've still got 10, 11 minutes. Should we bring our guest out? Let's welcome back to the podcast, Jacob. Woo! Jacob is back again. Yeah, let's do one of these, Danny. Go on, you. Yeah, that's a decent
Hey.
one. Go on, Dan, you do
all
one.
over Jay's face.
Yeah, again.
Again. Jacob is back after. So Jacob did 9 episodes with us in the first season, basically.
The Christmas one as well.
Christmas
don't
special.
I?
So
Yeah.
10, was it 10? Was it 10?
Yeah.
Was it 10 episodes? Yeah. Jay, where have you been? What have you been doing?
Finished uni, with a bit of a mature student, got a first in digital marketing.
Whoa,
Yeah.
brilliant, mate. Brilliant.
Jacob is the clever one, basically.
Now Andy's replaced me. That
No,
looks
I
it.
don't.
Well, we've sort of replaced Jacob with
Two.
with
Yeah.
two, basically.
It's to balance
We
it out.
couldn't
Jacob.
find anyone as clever as
Yeah.
you, so we've
There's
got
got two
two.
of us.
So the two
Yeah.
minds of Jack and Andy hopefully make your one mind, basically. You look a bit dishevelled there, Danny. You all right?
No, I'm really chuffed.
You're
It's
emotional, aren't you?
sentimental, because when we think back when we first started doing a few of these, we were sat in a room in Preston.
We were,
and we all talked about it. We did the Euros. We did and it's just, it is lovely to see.
We sat there watching the
genuinely
views
mean
go
it.
up in hundreds, didn't
start-
we?
Yeah,
on
and
the
we
first
did.
video?
The nights we spent doing these together was so
Yeah.
much fun,
Special.
and really enjoyed.
Yeah.
And I worked with Jay for a couple of years, or maybe more.
Yeah, yeah.
3 years, yeah.
So first,
So,
so congratulations on the uni
Amazing,
degree.
mate.
Honestly, well done. Second question from me is: would you have a sex bot if there was such a thing?
Definitely.
Only if it looked like
So yes, he would basically.
But just remember the conversations we had when we were doing in the first few pods. They were just great as well. And,
Yeah,
and
I've just realised you went to the toilet with your microphone on.
oh yeah, I did. It's like Naked Gun.
Yeah, he actually did do that. I don't know if it's picked it up or not.
I wonder right said, come on, big boy.
Yeah.
Come on, big boy.
One more time.
Who does number 2 work
Who does number 2?
Might have to edit. We can't edit it.
No, you can't edit it.
Oh, don't matter.
It's gone out now, Danny. It's
Police
gone
are on
out
the
now.
way, Danny.
The Chinese Communist Party don't order that down.
No, Jay, honestly, it's brilliant
What
to
have you
see
just
you.
done
So, you're here tonight. Obviously won't sort of give anything away, anything like that, but it's episode 20. Thought you'd come back and just say a quick hello. But I think maybe possibly something with the job that you're working on at the moment with a future podcast, maybe?
Yeah, come to see King Sol doing his thing.
Absolutely.
From Pirate Radio.
So we need to actually give a shout out to Sol.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Because
yeah,
we're we're kind of sort of saying how good we are, but we couldn't do any of this without Pi Radio and Sol and
Brilliant.
the team at Pi Radio in Stockport.
I
basically.
genuinely love coming here, not just for this. I've loved it personally, just to come here. So I feel safe, I feel secure, I feel
nice routine.
nice person to speak to. It's
No,
great.
I agree, and the quality that they produce for us,
Unbelievable.
is absolutely fantastic as well. So we've got to say thank you to that.
Yeah.
Actually, have we done this? What's everybody's favourite pie?
Pi Radio.
Cream.
Pie Radio.
It's a bit gay, that, Andy.
If you're going to say a steak and ale,
No, it's got to be lamb and mint pie.
No, I'm going to say pork. I'm going to
pork
just
pie's
say
good.
it. I'm going to say
pie.
pork.
Pork pie.
Jack, favourite pie, go.
Cherry pie.
Oh, you've
No,
gone through.
You've gone for
You've gone through.
Yeah, you got fruit.
It's still pie.
Yeah, of course it is.
Sweet,
Yeah.
so you've gone sweet.
Oh, in that case, then maybe apple.
Pork pie's great, but yeah, cherry pie.
It's lamb and mint pie.
Custard or ice cream. with
Dave,
it.
we know why you like apple pie.
Fucking hell. Yeah.
Oh, and Danny, what have you always said about Pie Records, what they need to do?
Pie Radio.
Pie Radio.
No,
Pie Radio.
this is a present that I need to give them. Is I've said this.
The
from
microphone
first
covers.
episode. The microphone covers needs to be.
Shape of a pie.
Shape of a
Well,
pie.
Danny, it's been 20 episodes, 2 years.
Yeah.
20. Actually, it's 21 episodes because we did do an episode that we couldn't release because there was a slight sound issue.
Yeah.
So we have actually recorded 21 episodes, but this is our official sort of 20th episode. And you said that on the first
Right
one.
between now
Yeah.
and January.
Oh,
when we do our
Sol,
new
I hope
one,
you're listening to this.
I'm going to come in with a New Year present for
Yeah.
for Sol
Yeah.
and Pi Radio,
And it's going to be
gonna
a
be
microphone pie cover.
microphone pie cover. But I don't.
Getting heckled from the back by Dan shouting about you don't.
He'll try to take a bite out of it.
By the way, Dan is also joining us tonight. He's
Site
a bit
manager.
shy.
Site
He's
manager.
a site manager. He's
Wank-
been on the
wanker.
podcast
Famous on
before,
Sky.
actually, at Christmas, episode 10.
Yeah.
He's very famous on Sky now. He's got like a...
I actually, in the first few episodes, Jay, you remember we talked. I hated site managers, still do a little bit, and
What did you say then?
I hate site managers. I still do it though. Mechanics as well, and paint decorators.
You hate paint decorators, site managers and
You're a lot of
mechanics. You
people.
hate all three of them, don't you?
And about 3 years ago, I was visiting in my job role. I was visiting someone, and when I turned up at this site, I was like, "You got to report to the office." And when I walked into the office to see the site manager, it's fucking him.
Fucking Dan. It was Dan.
And he was like, "Make sure you show your CSCS card."
Is it in date?
Is it a day? You're fucking not coming on my side.
Have you had your induction?
Yeah. And he was running the site.
Wait a
So-
minute, is that when you phoned me up and told me exactly where it was because he still had the tracker on the van for the phone?
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. So I was, turned up.
So there's a lot of history in this room, isn't there?
There is. Yeah.
Did you ever think, you two, I can ask you two specifically, but, when we first, the idea was just to do a podcast because we thought there's nothing much about construction. But did you ever think we'd get to like 20 episodes and do like 20 episodes? And I'm not saying it's been like as successful as any other podcast, but it has, in our heads, and the reality is, has been quite successful. It has.
Yeah, I'm proud of the fact you've carried it on because it took a lot of work just to even start, didn't it?
Yeah, no, it
And
did.
then,
It did, Jay. Yeah, it did
And
actually.
just learning how to do stuff, learning
Yeah.
where to upload stuff.
Yeah.
And things like that. So the fact that you've carried it on is brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, I never did fucking anything of that bit. That was always you two.
Still don't.
I'm still not
I
doing
have
anything
got a clue.
either. I just turn up.
I only watch TikTok for the other things.
Yeah, he once messaged me one night and said, "Have you ever seen? Was it? I think he messaged me and said, "Have you ever seen Mum Talk or something like that?" It was.
What's this?
He
What?
no, it's nothing. It's nothing like. Yeah, I know, but and it was like, for fuck's sake, Danny, you should be doing what I do, which is watching my episodes back. Oh, there's me again.
When Dave said, "Oh, hey, we've had so many views of this video," I'm like, I don't even know how to get on it.
No.
Still don't. Jay,
Just looking at your, going back to your AI stuff, something interesting.
Yes.
I kind of agree with what these two have said, but if you go back to about 2018, PETA, the animal people,
Yes.
released a document advising people not to kick robots because they've got a fantastic memory. And you can read that
Really?
online. Yeah.
So, in the
so
future,
it's not AI.
They're
but-
going to kick us back.
but
So you
they
mean like
can-
don't abuse the robots,
yeah,
essentially?
because one day they'll be able to think for themselves and they'll remember.
Yeah. See, because I've got this sort of thing that if I had a robot, I think I would shout at it and kind of maybe bully it a little bit, maybe.
And I
But-
find myself saying thank you to ChatGPT.
Well, they.
Because you're like, oh,
Being
I'm not
nice
going
to
to
it.
get.
Well, that's the
into
thing.
it,
It's
right.
like, you know, can you be disrespectful to a robot or can you be polite to a robot because it's a fucking robot? It's like saying thank you to your iPhone.
Don't you say thank you to your
No, but you know what I mean. It's like it's a bit like that, isn't it? So I don't know.
it's that fine
Yeah.
line between
A few times.
You know, like obviously you never want to mistreat an animal or another human being, but then is it because we've made something we feel like we can do what we want to it?
Yeah, is it actually something about our own? It's like a philosophical
It's
question.
very much Westworld.
Yes.
It's very
It says
much
more about
that.
yourself.
Well,
how
you know what
mistreat
goes on in
something that
Westworld.
looks like you than how
Yeah.
you should treat something. Yeah.
Well, I don't know what to say on that one because there's lots of all issues from Westworld, isn't there?
Great program.
Brilliant program.
Well, the first series is the best.
Jay,
First
so plans for 2025? Anything of interest just before we sort of close the shop and
Getting a brand new kitchen, funnily enough.
Nice.
So just
Right.
got
Nice.
those-
Now
Right,
then.
yes.
Yeah.
who are you going to get to fit it? Make
Yeah.
sure you get someone that you know and trust.
Classic builders of Bury.
Yes.
Yeah.
God.
Oh, we might know him.
Yeah.
Does he talk about the price of pints in pubs? Or in and
No,
around?
no.
No, it's
Not
not.
that
Is
kind
it
of
not
boy.
that
Not
one?
that kind of boy.
No.
No, some proper guys.
Should we give him a shout? Should we
Rick
give
Shaw.
Rick Shaw a shout out? We love Rick, don't we?
I love it.
We
I
all love Rick
We all
Shaw.
do. Anybody, you can't not love him.
No.
He's a famous joiner from Bury.
He's a good
Rochdale,
guy.
Bury.
Yeah,
Kind
good
of.
guy, Rick.
He's a great guy. So Haywood, yeah. So it's all the same places, all the same difference. So new kitchen, new house, new job,
New car.
new.
No, I can't afford one of them. Not with these
Yeah.
interest rates.
You
the
know
way
what they
they
say
are.
about a new house, don't you? Know what the saying is, new house, new baby.
No.
No.
There's a wedding in 2026.
Whoa,
nice
when's the
one.
stag do?
April 2026.
Yes!
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, that's brilliant, actually. Brilliant, Jake.
I was
Congratulations.
glad I missed yours because I was away when you had your stag do,
No,
so
no,
we've got
I-
making up to do.
No, it's
No,
fine,
no,
mate. Don't be
yeah,
daft.
we've got making up to
Just
do.
bear in mind, if you do invite the Melias, 7 of us will show up.
And Rick.
Basically.
And Rick.
And Rick.
And
Yeah.
Rick.
And
Oh,
Dan
mate,
Miller.
congratulations. That's
That's
brilliant.
great. That's great.
That is
Great, Jay.
absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyone else got anything else to mention? Believe it or not, that's basically just sort of over an hour now. Anyone else? Have we missed anything for tonight? There's a few things that we've not really talked about, but what's that, John? No, we're okay with the agenda, so to speak.
That's one last point. I think housing should be considered as infrastructure, like roads. It's like vital.
Totally agree. Great shout,
Instead of a
Andy.
commodity.
Instead of a commodity,
Yeah.
it should be
Yeah.
infrastructure.
Not like a luxury or anything.
yeah,
It's
not like something
yeah.
that
So if they're building roads, they're building houses.
should be building houses.
Yeah,
They
I like
proved
this
during COVID that they can pay for anything at
Yes.
any time.
Yeah, the way
So-
it can be structured,
Yeah.
yeah, the finance, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, the only real wealth is people and the stuff that you make, the
Yeah.
infrastructure.
Jack, maybe a final Trump, or you're not feeling it, or final. It's a great-
How's
say.
his presidency going to, is it January the 5th he starts, January the 6th?
January 20th.
January
20th.
20th.
Yeah. How tall is Barron?
He's 6'5", isn't he?
Nice.
He's big.
Six
He's
foot nine.
6'9".
Yeah.
He's like Keane.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is. Yeah, he's a tall
Yeah.
lad. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a very.
He's the next one.
He's the next.
He
He's
is
the
the
next
one, isn't he?
Trump
He's
president.
the next Trump president.
No,
Yeah.
Elon.
He's
He'll be next.
Augustus.
Do you reckon Elon will be next?
In about 12 to 16 years.
Yeah.
President of Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he'll have like all his aides will all
No, he
be
can't be
robots.
South African though. He
robots.
can't
Yeah,
be South
robots.
African, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't born in America. He can't.
Who can't?
Elon is South
Yeah, he's
African.
South African originally. Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
With English
South
parents,
Africa.
I think. Yeah.
And he lived in Canada before he.
I didn't know
Ah,
that.
didn't
I
know
thought
that.
he was
Didn't know
American.
that.
Well, he's been over there for 25, 30
I
years.
mean,
so.
Obama wasn't American, and he was. So they say. So they say. So they say.
Arnold.
Yeah, I'm
Arnold.
not funny.
Well,
The only
that-
black,
Gets
the
kicked
only
with
black
the
president,
chopper.
the only time they asked for a birth certificate, it's a disgrace, that, isn't it?
Is that true?
Well, there's a bit
No,
of
Trump. It was Trump, isn't it? It was Trump who asked.
Yeah, no, it was. I think there's also.
Well, that was where it started.
It was where it
There's
started.
a big
where it
theory
started.
on the internet as well about Michelle Obama.
No, 100%.
Oh, no.
Beautiful. No.
She should be the next, well, the
She's
first
got- I like
female
Michelle.
president.
Yeah.
Now, if she would have been running, boom, she'd have won.
So you're talking about a woman
She
that's
would.
not worked in 20 years.
No, but
Well, hang on. This was the same thing with Hillary Clinton, and Trump beat her.
You know what?
She
That's
was the
another
first
thing.
lady.
Michelle
but she-
Obama's
He's run against
different,
two
different,
women.
whole different breed.
First lady.
He's run against two women in his
She was a
he's won.
career politician full
Yeah.
of shite. For
She
20
must not
years.
want it because they would have given it to her if she.
Yeah,
did it.
no,
So
they
she
probably
must
would
just
have-
not.
yeah,
It's true.
She's
Yeah,
probably
she's
just
probably-
not.
She's probably got.
She's
yeah.
obviously not interested.
She's
Why would you
Labour.
as well? It's
Yeah.
It's about time
take
they had
all
a
that.
female president. It is. It's about time.
no
I
Trump.
don't disagree with a female president.
The
absolutely.
theory is so they can prove that they'll do it as bad as the men do it.
Well, like
'Cause it's an
Liz
impossible
Truss.
job.
Oh, Liz Truss. Fucking hell, what a disaster that was.
fucking useless.
What an
Oh,
absolute
and
disaster.
not just on one more point on that is it's not rigged then, is it? If he's got in,
What?
Well,
Is that-
it was. I'll say one thing on that.
how can it be?
I'll say one thing, because the level of votes the Democratic candidate got over the last 3 or 4 elections have all been about 65 to 70 million,
Right.
and Biden got 81 million. So he got about 15 million more than the person before him
Yeah.
and the person after him. So I'm not saying anything happened, but it is a little.
Well, why did
weird.
they think? Why did they rig it now then?
Jack, Sleepy Joe.
I think it was COVID. If there was any cover,
I agree with
if
that.
There would have been any
I know.
cover,
I think
it
COVID was the after effects, but I don't believe in.
I'm not
the-
saying it did happen. I'm just
rigging.
saying that would be.
Yeah.
That's the only.
History does show that higher turnouts give a Democrat.
Yeah.
Them, so,
Yeah.
But
Um,
I think people just.
No, I
went-
just
went for
believe
Trump.
they
They went
just
for Trump. Yeah.
they'll turn to Trump.
I hate to push this, but we're going to wrap it up for the evening, guys. What I would say is stay tuned for next year because you never quite know what's going to happen on this podcast. You never quite know what we're going to talk about.
guest star.
I had a whole agenda, and we've ended up talking about sex robots and AI tonight, and other weird stuff. We've got the brilliant Jacob's back for 10 minutes. Yeah, thank you, Jacob. Final word, Andy.
The end.
The end. No, it's not the end.
Part 2, part 3 coming soon.
Yeah, Jack. Final word.
Bring on season 3.
Bring on season 3, exactly. Jacob, final word for you for this episode? Anything?
just glad to be Amelia again.
Yes.
Harry.
Yes. Danny?
Yeah. Season 3.
Looking forward to it.
I am. It'd be different. I think season 2's been difficult.
It has been difficult.
I don't mean what we've done. It's been a difficult year.
Because of Dad.
And I think the new year, new start, new change.
Yeah. Everyone listening is like, all right, we know your dad's dead.
Actually,
right?
to be a
He
sci-
died,
to be a-
all right.
to be a bit of a Star Trek nerd, 3rd series is when it really got going.
That's
All
what
of
I'm
them.
saying.
Voyager, Generation, DS9.
Yesterday,
That's when it.
Enterprise,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's when it really kicks off.
Yeah.
Series 3.
And it's just cost us about 1 million views. And, yeah. No, you're absolutely right. So just a couple of things from me. Thank you to everyone listening and watching and following us this season and taking part. Thank you to everybody at Pi Radio, because without them we couldn't do it. We genuinely couldn't. Thank you to all of you lot as well for joining in. It's nearly Christmas. Look out for our lives. We will promise you we will be doing our lives
There's
over.
a live at Christmas.
We will do a live there is a live at Christmas. On the 28th of December, we will be doing a live from Weatherspoons in Hazel Grove.
We all know what that means.
For about an hour.
So yeah, well, everyone's welcome. We'll be at the Hazel Grove Weatherspoons in Stockport on the 28th of December for our Christmas do. And we will be going live from there. Other than that, just thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Can't wait for next season because I think there's going to be even more things going on. And that's basically it. Thank you very much, everybody. And good night. We'll see you next year.
See you
Done.
next year.